Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Stacy and this is the second time going through the voiceover for this video. I don't think I had my mic on the first time. Super bummer. Very frustrating. Let me see. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Apparently I can turn this up. Look at that. Holy business, Batman. There we go. That's better. All right. Here we go. Blocking in the background. I am working on 4 colored pencil pieces on the Canson sand grained dry mixed media paper neutral color. It's called neutral colored sandpaper. I guess you could use it as sandpaper if you really wanted to. It's super fine though. I don't encourage using it that way. The paper, I mean. Yeah, I did these drawings. This one and the one that I put up last Friday as time-lapse voiceover, the poison dart frog. If you didn't watch that, it's like 23 minutes of, watching me fast time do a 3-hour piece of art. I did these back to back. So lots of hours of listening to, I think it's Adrian's Undead Journals is the name of the books that I'm listening to. It's a series on Audible, zombie apocalypse storyline. So if that's not your jam, don't look that up. If it is your jam, give it a whirl, but know that it is a written as and read to you as a journal. Most of it. There are some portions that are filler and backstory that are other people's parts of the storyline, but all the bits that are Adrian are read as his journal. He's speaking to and through Mr. Journal. At any rate, it's a good series. I'm enjoying it. It's different for sure. I'm on book 5, so I think I'm enjoying it. Yeah, so I'm listening to that and color penciling these frogs in and just chilling. I have snacks, I have drinks, and doing what I love to do, which is art. I love to art. Drawing, sketching, painting, pastels, what have you. Really, really loved to create. In case you hadn't noticed, if you're new to the channel, I love to create art things. Art and art related. One of my newer endeavors is to create, and I'm hijacking this voiceover hardcore. I am going to chit chat about different subject matter as I bounce back and forth into what I'm doing on the page. What I'm doing on the page right now is popping in 3 different layers of different colors of green colored pencil. I went light, medium, dark. And the intent is to get here it is, colored pencil blending solution and blend that background and make it nice and soft. Fill in the tooth of the paper without having to put layer upon layer upon layer of colored pencil, which is totally cheating, I guess. But, all the rules are meant to be broken. Smash to smithereens. Let's do it. I love the colored pencil blending solution. I think it's a great tool to have in your retina. Retina is a part of your eye, right? Oh, no. Oh, words are hard. This is my second go through. I'm not stopping and doing it again. So welcome to my world. Retinue. I think that's how you say it. Your arsenal, if you will, of tools of the trade. The color blending solution is I put cotton balls in a sealable and resealable little jar and poured the blending solution, not all of it, just some of it, just enough to dampen the cotton balls. and use it that way. That way I'm not going through blending solution like a crazy person, because I was pouring it into a little tray and using it that way, and it evaporates like kind of like nail polish remover, just less quickly. And I felt like I was going through it too quickly as well. So it's a good way to use your color blending solution, and when you're done, you just pop the lid back on and set it aside. And it stays on my table. It's just a teensy little jar. It lives on the table now, because I'm very out of sight, out of mind. If something's not within pretty easy reach, I tend to forget that I have it, and I'm like, hey, where'd you come from? I forgot I had you. Come to the table with me. Let us play. I even have salt on my table. I have actually a pretty cool salt container on my table. It's really nice. It's a meant for, I don't know, cheese or something, but it has different sizes of openings. So I have different sizes of salt in there. So if I want the finer salt, I can open it to the little holes and shake it around. But if I want the thicker, chunkier salt, I can use the bigger holes. And I actually labeled it art salt, which I think is hilarious. But it's on the table. Little things that please me. My frog's almost done. Look at him. Isn't he great? I went in with all the greens that I needed and then yellows to make the lighter, shinier spots, and blended them out. And now we're going to work on the dark markings on him. I'm picking colors right now, because the markings are kind of black on the reference photo, but I didn't want to go all straight black because then his eye wouldn't pop. So I went in with a burgundy color and a soft brown and kind of a yellow ochre kind of color, and layered them and left a lot of the white of the page where he's shinier and lighter in color. I just did glazes of color on color, which is one of the joys of colored pencil for me, is to put down a color and glaze another color over and another color over that, and create visual blending with the paper peeking through that adds a little sparkle, which I love. I don't know if other people like that part or not, but I love that part where the paper peeks through, especially a light paper, and it looks like your entire piece is sparkling. And that you can see all the different colors, kind of like impressionistic art. You can see all the colors peeking through next to and around all the other colors if you look really closely. And textures. I like textures in my art, so the colored pencil textures are really nice for me as well. Anybody out there doing colored pencil pieces? Do you have tips and tricks that you want to share? Drop them in the comments below. I am down. I'm new to colored pencil, and really finding it to be quite enjoyable. I don't really want to do hyper realistic though. I did take out a little bit of I wish I'd erased more. The graphite that I used to draw these, and I'm going to pick up the graphite on the next ones. That I have 2 more to do. I wish I'd picked up more of the graphite on the flower, because the graphite really picked up a lot when I put the light colors down over the top of it, and it kind of smudged around in a way that I don't enjoy. I didn't really want the graphite to peek through quite as much as it does. So note to self, for later pieces, lessons, you learn something new every time you do something. Every time you create something, you learn another new thing. So I laid down a base of yellow with the intent of going in and laying down more base of other shades, and then I got stuck in this one section underneath him. I really started rendering to a point of finished in this one little area pretty quickly, and then kind of worked my way out from there through the rows. I go ahead and do this side and these petals on the right side of him, working my way out from the dark pink peach underneath him, There are all the colors that I chose to work on the rose. I pulled a bunch of them out. I was talking to my daughter on the phone while I did that, which is why there's a little jump there. And then a bunch of them needed to be sharpened, so I did that real quick. And yeah, I just go through and sharpen each one and set them off to the side. I don't know why I left that in here, but there you go. Stuff you need to know. Colored pencil drawing. You're going to have to stop and sharpen your pencil. And I don't have an electric pencil sharpener yet. Don't know if I want one. I do. I know I want one. I'm trying not to spend money, you guys. Trying really hard not to spend money before my move. So yeah, going in and working on the rose petals. I'm talking to my daughter there. If you see me stop and my hands are doing weird things, I'm talking to my daughter on the phone. I get off the phone here shortly and get back to business. But yeah, I go in and block in some more yellows here and there, and then I basically work from underneath the frog out to the edge, the right edge of the rose, and then go to the back petal behind him. I'm not sure why I worked that way. Felt right. That's probably why. It just felt right. This is why you do most things in art, right? Because it just feels right. So, more stories. I'm moving back to Washington. My leave date from here is August 31st. My work contract is up then, and the money and finances will be such that I can move in comfort and take all my things with me and pay movers to move my stuff, because my back is not going to be able. Yeah, no. Sciatic nerve issue and moving furniture. Big no-no. Don't do that. So I'm going to pay movers to move my stuff for me, especially across the country. I don't want to get rid of everything. Last time when I moved from Washington to New York in 2019, I got rid of absolutely everything I owned. And the only things that came with me were precious things that would fit in my car and in the bag on top of my car. Now, I drive a Mitsubishi Mirage. These are teensy little itsy bitsy cars, so not a lot of stuff. I had this poor car was loaded so much, and I didn't know till I got here, my uncle yelled at me, that you couldn't see the tops of my tires. So thank God she got all the way here without me blowing a tire, especially coming up over the Rocky Mountains. Those passes were interesting. But I don't want to do that again. I don't want to load the car down so much that I can't drive her safely. And I really don't want to get rid of all my stuff. I've been here for this. I'm in my 4th year of living in this apartment, and I really don't want to get rid of all my nice things. I moved here with enough money to buy nice things when I got here to set myself up comfortably and be happy with my home. And mind you, when the kids were little, I was super poor. Everything was secondhand or given to me or bought used in some way. And I just really wanted nice new things that no one else has ever used before. Kind of like I've never had a car no one else has ever driven. It's a weird thing to know about myself, but I do know that I've never owned a car no one else has ever owned. Never had a brand spanking new car. I don't know that I need one at this late stage in my life. My little car, knock on wood, where's some wood, is doing good. She's only got 75,000 miles on her. I've had her for a while, and working from home, of course, has helped with all that. But driving her across the country again, I want her to get there in one piece because she's going to be paid off. I don't want to say it too loud. She's going to be all paid off. And I don't want to. It'd be nice to not have a car payment for a while. All my grown-up years, I've only ever not had a car payment for 1 year. And of course, the end of that year, that car, it would have cost more to fix her than she was worth. So, yeah, I ended up getting a new car. But yeah, super excited about the move, but I am definitely paying movers to move my things because, 52, sciatic nerve issues. I don't really want to. Plus, I really don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to move furniture and load everything into a U-Haul and tow my car behind it. I've never towed anything before, so the thought of doing that scares me. And of course, I've had family members offer to come fly here and ride back with me, and I don't, I don't want to put someone through that. That's a lot. That's asking a lot, right? I know if they're willing that it's not. It's just a thing. I don't want to do that to anybody. So yeah, August 31st. Super excited. My job contract is up then. My last day is August 31st, so it's excellent timing for that. I'll have something, of course, lined up for work, like the day job, long before I get there, because the way things work now, everything's digital. Even interviews are via video, which is fantastic. So I'll have something lined up for work long before I get there, at least interviews, which is fantastic, which is what I did here. I had 3 interviews lined up and another 1 or 2 after that in the works. And by my 3rd day here, I had a job, which was great. But yeah, here I am. Just hijack the voiceover because watching a colored pencil piece is time consuming work, you guys. This is if you were watching it real time, you'd be bored right quick. I can tell you that for sure. Just working through the rows. I did the back petal, and now I'm doing the front lighter colored petals that are closer to us and in the more in the sunlight. And this little frog is resting like on the corner of the rose on one of the petals, way back on the corner of this great big rose. So this is a close up of the rose and the frog because he's just a teensy little thing. Really, really enjoyed doing this. I love colored pencils so much. Prismacolor for blending. The Prismacolor white color pencils are fabulous for blending. That's the white pencil that's right there. It's the only Prismacolor pencil that I'm using in these pieces. I really do wish I hadn't used so much graphite, or at least had picked up more of it off the paper before I got to these light petals. And I did have a hard time. I tried to cover it up with the dark, which is part of the reason why the rose went from being a yellower rose to a more pink peach rose. It's because I was really not loving all that graphite peeking through. And it kind of smudged a little bit as I was working and moved around on the page. Not a lot, but enough that I was like, oh, I don't like it. So I have 2 more of these. If you are interested, I can do a real-time color with me, and I can offer the line art for the piece as well, so you guys can trace it in color pencil with me. If you're interested, we could do that. It'll probably be a pretty quiet tutorial, yeah, because it's colored pencil. I mean, I have tons of stories to tell, but for the most part, it'll be coloring in and chit-chatting. And for this piece, I'm almost done. I got in all the colors that I wanted to get in, and then decided that the background wasn't dark enough. It was just too light, and not what I was looking for. I wanted it to be more, just a deeper, darker color. So I go in and I put in a couple more layers of the greens, and I really notice the little white spots that were too light next to the petals, and I really wanted the rose to kind of push forward and pop a little bit more, feel more forward in the piece. So I go in and just scribble in a glaze of each of the colors back and forth. I go back and forth between these two greens. And these are in the tints. The colored pencil sets, the solid barrels are the pastel tint shades set, which are very nice. They're wonderful pencils. They go down really easy. They don't hurt my hand or my elbow. I have a lot of elbow, wrist, hand fatigue from being a bookkeeper and keying in information. So when I say a pencil brand doesn't hurt me, it's kind of saying something. And this doesn't fatigue me at all to use. And I used them for hours that night. So, and here I went out and grabbed my blending tools. I have the Derwent burnishers and Derwent blenders, and then the one I'm using right now is a Caran. What are you? Full blender, bright, Swiss made by Caran is what it says on the barrel, and it's kind of like one of those pencils that doesn't have a barrel on it. That's what it is. The entire thing is a blender, so that's cool. I have 2 of those. My preferred blending medium next to the blending solution, and I didn't want to use more blending solution on the background, mostly because I remembered I had these blenders and thought maybe it would blend instead of lift up. And sometimes the blending solution will push the color around on the page instead of blending it together. I think that's due to my heavy hand, but food for thought. I feel like it was effective. I like the blender. I kind of pushed all the pigment down into the page too and got rid of all the extra little light marks here and there. We pull off our tape and do our little close up and call this good. I put a little more dark on my frog because at the last minute I decided that there wasn't enough contrast between him and the background. He was blending in just a bit too much. But yeah, there he is in all his froggy gloriness. We're making up words today too. And there we go. We're taking off our tape and doing a quick close up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.